I want to bring in Allie Bradley now. She is a journalist who has been on the scene in Uvalde, Texas, really since the beginning. She was nearby and was able to rush there as things were happening and law enforcement was arriving. Allie, thank you for your time tonight. I know you spoke with people who were close and watched this situation unfold. What did they tell you?
Yeah, thanks for having me on here, first of all. But they were telling me that they were watching this scene unfold. They were living right next to this situation where it happened, and they saw this shooter drive by, and they said he was speeding by, and they didn't really think much of it because they see a lot of pursuits out here. They see a lot of human and drug smuggling pursuits out here. So they didn't really think anything of it, and the truck crashed nearby the school. And so they watched people from the funeral home run out and kind of run to the aid and see if everybody was okay. That's when they said the shots really started firing. They watched that shooter run towards the school and jump over the fence and actually gain access to that school. Now, they said it didn't look like he necessarily had an agenda to get to that school, more like he crashed nearby and went over there and had the gun with him. And of course, the grandmother's house is just about a mile away from where this school is. And so they were telling me that one of them actually went to school with him. And he was saying, 2 years ago when he was in school with him, that they were in PE together. He said that he never suspected anything. He said that the shooter didn't display any kind of behavior that they would have anticipated that he would have ended up shooting and killing 18 kids. There's nothing that he ever thought would have happened. He used the word sketchy. There was nothing sketchy about him. Now, I just left from one of my sources' homes, actually, who had a child in that school. Thankfully, those children are home with them safely. The third-grade boy was able to tell me what he witnessed. He saw the shooter. He saw him fire shots, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, I know this man is not worried about hurting people." And I asked him if he has to go back to school, and he says he did not want to go back to school. He said he didn't know if he was going to survive, and he said they were at recess when this happened. I asked if he knew what they were supposed to do, and he said no. They just basically all ran back inside, and he said that, he heard all the shots being fired. And so right now he's saying he's traumatized, and he doesn't want to go back to school, and he's a third grader. So this is what we're dealing with right now in this really small community. And I mean, really, this response, how quick it was, it's because of the crisis that's going on right here that I've been down here covering, which is why I was so close. It's because we've been covering the influx of illegal immigration here along the southern border. That is why so many agents were deployed out here. That is why so many people were here to respond to this crisis, and so quickly at that.
Allie, you said something there that struck me because I hadn't heard it yet, that the students were at recess. So to your knowledge, based on what authorities have told you and witnesses, did this shooting happen outside or inside of the school building?
I don't have that confirmed, so I'm not really comfortable going with that, but I can tell you the first dispatch call was around 11:40 this morning.
Allie, the community, there's a lot of resources that are going to be pouring in for folks in that community to try to deal with this and comprehend it. The school has been canceled for the rest of the year. What is the latest and the status of the Family Reunification Center and how information is being fed to families right now?
Right now, I know there are still some families looking to find their children. I mean, I was just down the street at the scene where, even closer than this, and there was a woman there looking for her niece and nephew. She had called San Antonio to see if they were airlifted there. She had called to find out if they were at the hospital here, and they still didn't know where they were less than an hour ago. And that is the latest update on what I have on family reunification there.
Talking to investigators, it sounds like it will take quite some time to process this scene. What are you hearing from authorities who are at the school tonight on the delicate and meticulous process of trying to pull together all of the pieces of what has happened?
You just heard the former chief there talk about their children involved here, right? So this is extremely sensitive. And you've got third graders saying that they didn't know if they were going to survive this. So it is going to be a long process, and there are a lot of agencies involved. And so, I don't believe we'll hear a lot of details anytime soon. But, I can tell you, and I don't know if this has been widely reported with you or not, but I have, of course, several very credible sources here, again, who have children in these schools. schools. And they're telling me that when they came here to search the perimeter, they actually found loaded magazines for AR-style rifles out there near the school. And so they're going to be piecing a lot of these things together that, yeah, haven't really been released yet, Marnie.
Allie, tell us more about Uvalde, the community. It's a small, close-knit town. It's seemingly small enough that everybody sort of knows everybody else. You've been there a while. You've been in these communities. Tell us more about the people there.
I mean, I've spent a lot of time in this community and not ever for something like this. And this is a small community and they do rally together and they are all extremely concerned. And I went out to talk to the mom of that child I spoke with, not to hear her child's story. He wanted to tell me. I just went there to hug her because I just can't imagine what a small community like this is dealing with right now and reeling with at this moment. But all of these families that have been near the scene that I was speaking with, they were like, no way would this ever happen here. You know, we never would expect that. And you hear that often in these really small, tight-knit communities. But it's a border community where they've always rallied together and they've always supported each other and supported law enforcement. And you see this show of force with law enforcement supporting them as well.
Yep, a lot of people looking for that hug tonight. Allie Bradley on the scene in Uvalde, Texas for us. Allie, we appreciate that report. And just a reminder for all of you at home, we continue to... Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.